Wednesdays with Keegan and so much to cover. I want to begin, though, Keegs, by saying what I've always said. Jesus is my savior.
He's back, man. The happiest man in baseball.
He
I tell you,
is.
truly. Like he, even when we did our post game with him, like there's something so magnetic about the guy, man. Like, and I'm glad that people are getting to see that a bit more. I still remember the first day that we were introduced to Jesus down in Dunedin, and it's 8 in the morning. It's a Tuesday. I'm not exactly my best self, and Jesus is out there just like preaching to people. He's got the biggest smile in the world. He's so animated. There's a reason everybody loves him that's played with him, and the Blue Jays too. But you're starting to see it, man. Like when they traded for him, I loved that trade because Jesus Sanchez is essentially Addison Barger. Like they do the same stuff. They swing hard as hell. Maybe they miss, whatever. But there's upside there. And we have not seen that upside for a couple of months. We're starting to see it now. And damn, it's pretty when it works, man. He's a really, really fun player.
Jesus hits a grand slam against his former team, and Alcantara was the pitcher. And they kept saying during the broadcast that Jesus was trying to like have some fun with him. And he's like, yeah, the pitcher wants no part of this. And Jesus was like, he didn't care.
No, he's man, Jesus reminds me a lot of like when the Blue Jays had like Teoscar at his peak and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Like he's always just like dancing and screwing around, and it works, man. Like that's cool. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. It works. It's his style. It's his jam. Even defensively, like it's an adventure out there,
Yeah.
man. Like it somehow he usually ends up with the baseball. I don't know how. It's normally from a couple missteps, and at one point in the ball flight, he's always just like this. You're like, oh my god, okay, Jesus. But man, he's a fun player, man. You need a little chaos, and he is a chaotic baseball player.
Yeah, I mentioned so much to cover. So the Jays rebound with a big win against the Marlins after it's strange how a bullpen game can fix things when you've got your young stud on the mound in the opener of a series, and that didn't fix it.
It's like plan A now, man, is the bullpen game. Braden Fisher to Spencer Miles to, I mean, thank God last night they got to rest Jeff Hoffman, Louis Varland, Mason Fluharty, Tyler Rogers. But this bullpen game is turning into like a legitimate strength for the Blue Jays. And it's kind of cheating. It's not really a full bullpen game because you have Spencer Miles normally throwing 4 or 5 innings. But at this point, man, that's working. And thank God it is, because if the Blue Jays did not have that, it would be a complete disaster in the rotation right now. Like you're already getting saved by Patrick Corbin. But now that you are without Dylan Cease, if Spencer Miles was not doing this right now, you are a complete mess. And they might be having to do a true bullpen day, which is using everybody and torching the whole thing. So Spencer Miles might be the most important pitcher on this roster right now. Like I know Cosman and Savage are good, but it's the same argument that we had with Eric Lauer last year, where it's not just about what he's doing, it's about what he is saving you from. And what Spencer Miles is saving the Blue Jays from right now is just a complete mess of depth because they're out of it.
So we've mentioned a few times how they can't get every facet of their game working, and now it's becoming a glaring problem. Defense is a major issue for the Jays. We saw it in left, and we saw it at first base with no Vladdy there.
This is the most surprising part of the season for me, Dan, because defense is a pretty controllable thing. You know, like you can get lucky year to year with batting average. You can get lucky where you hit 20 when you normally only hit 10 home runs because you just hit it to the right part of the ballpark. Those things can fluctuate a lot. Defense is normally very consistent. Like if you're a great defender, you stay a great defender because it adds up. You know, there's enough time for it all to balance out. But Dalton Varsho stands out to me. I mean, yesterday John Schneider said there's like a few plays that have skewed his metrics a bit. I don't know if I fully agree with that. You know, there have been a lot of plays, especially going back towards the wall. That's where Dalton Varsho does his best work, where I'm just not seeing it as much. What makes Dalton Varsho elite, like the thing he is truly elite at, is his jump. And in baseball, we define that as the first 3 seconds after the ball hits the bat. your jump. Dalton Varsho is one of the best in the world at that initial jump, how much ground he covers, how far he's going. That hasn't been as good this year. So you're seeing him have to chase balls that normally he would get to very easily. It's the old Devon White thing that people say. He never had to dive because he just got to it. You're not seeing it. Then Ernie Clement, like I thought Ernie Clement, Dan, as a full-time second baseman would be a gold glover this year. Like I thought if he could focus on one spot, gold glove. And we haven't seen that either. It's really strange to me. I do think that this is one spot where I just have to say it's a really poorly timed coincidence. I don't think the Jays have stopped caring about defense or any big brain narrative like that. I just think it's really bad timing that a few guys at the same time are doing it. And it's tough because the Blue Jays, when you're not scoring, I'll make everything about the offense. I don't care. When you're not scoring, you need to play perfect defense and pitch almost perfectly, and they're not.
With Vladdy being hurt, he's probably back today, or the next
Maybe,
game.
yeah.
So if you are in the J system and you're at first base, probably not a good spot to be in because of the length of Vladdy's contract. But is there anyone in the system that we have a first baseman if this ever occurs again?
It's not great, man. You've just always got to keep like an Eloy Jimenez stashed in single A. Like you've always got to just have that type of guy. And thankfully, that's pretty easy to find, honestly. Like a Eloy Jimenez, first base, doesn't get a big league deal because he can't run and is a bit flawed type of deal. You can keep that. Down in AAA, the Blue Jays do have Charles McAdoo, a prospect who a lot of people like. I think he's ranked just inside the top 20 on my list and is having a very good season. But the likelier outcome here, Dan, is that if the Blue Jays lost another infielder for a while, you're probably going with Josh Kasevich, who's the number 13 prospect, and you're asking Lenyn Sosa to play more first base, which, I don't know. Maybe Ernie Clement to play more first base, which is wild. Like, I don't know, man. When I think of first base, I think of like players that look more like me, not like 5'11" scrappy infielders. I think of the biggest dude on the team. So it's weird to be moving around utility infielders to play first base, but their infield depth is just in a weird spot right now. I don't love the balance of this roster construction at the moment, but it's by necessity.
A lot of fans on Tuesday night were eating their hot dogs through tears as there's no Davis Schneider. Is this a long-term thing, or is this just he's going to find his wings back in the minors?
Yeah, a lot of people love Davis Schneider, let me tell you. This is as hard as people have ever taken an optioning to AAA for someone who is batting
110.
Let me bring it up. Yeah, 127. So it's there's a reason for it. Let me tell you that. But I think it'll happen like last year. He went down to AAA for a bit, got himself right. And when Davis Schneider is himself, like he was last season, I mean, when you bring up what he was able to do last year, it fit the Blue Jays so well. He played 82 games, so call it a 50% of the time player. And he only hit 234, but there was power. He had 11 homers, 797 OPS. That's a high bar for him to get back to, but that's such a valuable fit on this specific team because he can play second base. And I do think that Davis has kind of been miscast a little bit as a lefty masher platoon guy. It's not really who he is. It'd be great if it was. It's not really his identity, but what he was failing to do in the big leagues was take big swings and hit for power. He was just watching too many pitches go by. He was not taking his shots. And at times it looked like he was maybe looking for that walk. Walks are great, but Davis Schneider, if he's on a big league roster, needs to be doing some damage. He needs to be hitting the ball out of the yard, hitting doubles. And that wasn't there. So the Jays need him to get back and get right. I do trust that'll happen. Like, I think Davis Schneider will light AAA on fire. Like, I think he'll go down and correct himself now that he's out of the spotlight a bit. And I'll be hoping that happens, man. Like, he is one of the true good guys on this team that you do want the best for, but it just wasn't working. And it was getting really tough with that roster fit as they're chasing more offense.
I would love to pick the brains of the guys on the Buffalo team when a guy like Schneider comes down, because they must just be itching. I want to ask him so many questions. Or do they just watch him and say, okay, I'm going to do what he does? Because it must be a great learning process. Okay, this guy's been up, been back. I'm going to follow what he does.
Especially when there's like a rehab guy, like when Max Scherzer goes to AAA for a
Oh
rehab start.
man, that's like Bruce Springsteen
Oh
joining your
man.
team.
Number one, you get a way better spread post game that night because if the guys made some money in the big leagues, they typically take care of the guys. Like you'll have steaks post game and all that type of stuff. I mean, with Max Scherzer, you might just want to stay the hell out of his way. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it was, Kevin Gossman down at AAA for a rehab start, I'm sure he'd be hanging out with the guys. And it's a cool element, man. I've been around some AAA games or single A games when there's a rehabbing big leaguer, just like when Jose Barrios was spending time with the single A Dunedin team. A lot of those guys really take care of the young guys. I know minor leaguers are paid a bit more now, but it ain't much. So like a couple free meals or it's getting them some big league gear is pretty cool.
Mhm.
But there's certain guys though that you probably don't approach, the little more intense fellas.
Also, a big piece of good news for back-to-back nights. The dome was open, so on hot dog night, all that hot dog vapor was able
Ooh.
to escape the building.
It's amazing when like I have visiting reporters in who are just amazed by this hot dog night because I mean my hot take is that a buck for a hot dog, it's not like it's it's what you'd pay at home. Like it's not a draw for me.
Mhm.
I don't know. The fact that people choose to plan going to Jays games around when they can eat a few hot dogs for a bit cheaper, that just doesn't hit my brain in the same way it works for people, I guess. So when we have visiting media in, this time from Miami, last time from Baltimore, whatever it is, there's always this weird fascination from people. And I'll tell them, like, yeah, they normally eat like 100,000 of these things. They're like, no, like, no chance that happens. And they watch the ticker go up through the game 80,000, 90,000. Like, yeah, man, I don't know. It's a buck for these hot dogs that aren't very good. It's a draw, I guess. But thank God the roof's open, though, man.
The visuals are so much better with it
Different
open.
experience. It's like, and at the same time, thank God for the roof. Like I couldn't cover a team without a retractable roof. Couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Like the rain delays you run into in April and May when you're in Baltimore, New York, Boston, and stuff. I would lose my mind. But having the roof open, like it's a completely different stadium, man. Different experience, nice breeze in there. Some hitters think the ball goes further, some thinks it hurts them, depending on what happened to them that day. But I like it.
I wanted to get your take on this. I've never asked anyone, and watching essentially every game this year, I believe we are seeing a different Dan Schulman in which he is more relaxed and having more fun. I'm not saying Buck Martinez didn't allow it, but is it just me where I'm seeing Dan's like joking around a bit up there this year?
This is where I break it that Buck and Dan hated one another all those years across TSN and Sportsnet. Just a beef that never came out.
Yeah.
They promised I promised them I wouldn't put it in the book, but it's been great, man. Like I've loved having Joe Siddle around more in the booth too. Like alongside Dan, I think they're a great match. And
Great match.
I love Dan, man. Like Dan, number one, great Packers fan. He's a man of taste. Dan took me to my first game ever at Lambeau Field. So I'm
Wow.
forever indebted. But Dan is like I don't know if Blue Jays fans realize like how good they've got it with the local broadcast, man. Like it's I don't want to put anyone through another team's broadcast for a week, but if you had to watch another broadcast for a week, you'd realize how good you've got it. And
Mhm.
then having Joe in the booth more, sorry. Like I love how Joe can explain and educate you on the game without it coming across as like explainy, arrogant stuff, which is so hard to do. It's so hard to do. And I mean, then you've got Hazel on the sideline, which is just the best in the business. Like you're living a blessed life if you're a Blue Jays fan right now. And then I was even giving my buddy Chris LaRue a hard time yesterday. They finally put his ugly face on the pregame show yesterday. He's been burdened by his lack of handsome looks, but they finally let him off the radio. So opportunities for everyone, baby. But it's been good, man. It's a good group to be around.
The other big news: Dylan Cease.
Oh my God.
I guess his injury could be blamed on facial hair.
That was tough, man. When it was physically jarring when I saw him. But I was saying on the radio this morning, like at least he's got a jawline under there, right? Like if I shaved this off, I'm not showing up the next day with a sharp jawline. Like most of us are trying to hide something here. Dylan Cease just has it all, which is just complete BS. But man, maybe that's the ticket. Like I remember even when he signed, he was much more clean cut. And then he let it go. So I got to ask him today. Maybe he's got like a commercial shoot coming up or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got a brand deal. But
Maybe he's getting some of that TD money.
hey, man, that's where it's at.
George Springer could live off his TD money and not even touch his salary.
TD Bank and Uncrustables, man. That's the only two deals you need in this country.
Do you have any injury updates for us? We saw Alejandro Kirk hanging out with the team. We saw Barger there. Does that mean either are close?
Closer. I think Max Scherzer this morning, probably right now as we're talking, Wednesday morning, 10:30.
I forgot about Max.
A live bullpen, which means he's facing hitters, live hitters as opposed to dead ones. I don't know. He's throwing to all these BS terms we have in baseball, live hitters. He's doing that this morning. That's good. If it goes well, he will then do a rehab assignment. When he comes back, is he a valuable major league pitcher? I don't know. We'll see. Kirk and Barger, it feels like they might be like similar timelines, like a couple weeks roughly. Kirk is still the important one for me, though. Like I think Kirk's the most important thing in all of this. Outside of Vladdy, like he's that foundational player to this whole franchise. He was, and I mean, Dan, I always think that like a lot of these rehab things are just kind of eyewash. You know, like Kirk was out in the field, like running the bases yesterday. Like he'd run to first and round it, then catch his bath, run to first and round it again. Your thumb's broken. What do we do? So it's all so regimented. I'm like, I don't care what you're doing out here, Kirk. Like, is your thumb okay or not? Like you're never going to steal a base, and that's cool. But once he begins his rehab, the hard part for him is hitting. Like if he really gets jammed up on the hands, is his thumb ringing or how's that feel? We'll see. But when he's back, like day one, he's the full-time starter. And right now, I still think Brandon Valenzuela has to stay as the backup. I think he's earned it fully and completely. But that's going to be huge because Kirk is the Blue Jays' identity offensively. Like when the Blue Jays are good offensively, they make a ton of contact. They frustrate the starting pitcher, and every once in a while, they land a big blow. That describes Alejandro Kirk to a T. They need him, and they've missed him more than I thought they would, honestly. And that's saying something because I knew they'd miss him, but it's really shown.
Brandon Valenzuela is very athletic. He's a young kid. Has he ever played first?
Man, get the glove on him. He's big. He fits. I don't know if he's ever played it, but I don't mind cross-training the backup catcher a little first base. They can scoop it, but he's a big dude too. Like he is a sneaky big dude.
Yeah. That's the one job where I don't know if as a major leaguer you can say, hey, I kind of want to learn that. Can you go to the coaches and even request that? Or like, no, you're a catcher. Just focus on that.
I had that thought yesterday when it almost got to the point where they had to put Miles Straw in the infield. And I was working through my head like, well, they don't have this guy. Vladdy's out. What if Lenine Sosa needs to leave the game? How are they going to play? But then I caught myself. I'm like, this is the big leagues. I mean, shut up. They're pro athletes. Come on. Like one of these guys can play second base for 3 innings. You know, I think they need to loosen up with that. You know, I don't know. I'd love to see a little more kind of wacky moving around, some aggression, you know, maybe try to hide a guy in left field when you don't think any balls are going to left field type of deal. But yeah, let it rip.
Miles Straw's my guy. I guarantee he can play every position and play it well.
Absolutely, man. And he would have the confidence too. Miles has some of that natural swagger. I think he could pull it off, man. He's one of the good ones.
I love it. Thanks, buddy.
You got it, Dan.